Salutations, Queen of Shade coming to you with a quick video in the midst of all these other videos I've been doing. So listen, I've been doing a lot of talking about HIV from my perspective and my beliefs and how I feel that it's ethical and morally right to let people know that you are HIV positive undetectable before you lay down with them. That is not something you should keep to yourself, because that's how you end up in a pine box when you don't tell the right man. And all of a sudden, he finds out you had what? He doesn't want to hear that you're undetectable at that point. All he hears is HIV positive. And then, bitch, you are fighting for your life because you withheld information. And yeah, that can get really bad. But anyway, that's not why I'm here right now. I am here because I'm supposed to be putting out this video, He Fumbled Me. He fumbled me. And it is the tea, honey. It is the tea. It is the reason. It's going to tie this all together. It's going to tell you about everything that I experienced with that situation. But I just can't seem to put it out yet because all these other chasms keep opening up. And this rabbit hole goes so deep that I'm just coming out with all of these other golden nuggets. So listen, this nugget, I was laying on my bed right now. I was getting ready to rest. I've been working like crazy. I was up at 3 a.m. You'll see my 3 a.m. rant later. I was doing a 3 a.m. rant, laid down at 5, had to get back up at 8. Then I've been working. So tonight I was going to rest, and then towards midnight, et cetera, I'll get back up and I'll do my work. But I'm laying there and I'm thinking to myself about all of this. And I just started screaming and laughing to myself. And I have to tell you why I was screaming and laughing to myself. Okay, so listen, all of my life, before my 12 years of celibacy, before that, I dealt with very masculine men. It wasn't by choice. It was what I attracted. You guys would be very, 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 very surprised if you actually knew how masculine I tend to be. And even with this femininity, I'm a man. A man takes care of you. A man is there. A man protects you. A man uses his intellect. A man, it's not always about your fist. I protect my women. I do all kinds of things. I raise kids, my sister's children, I do a lot of things that men do, that men are supposed to do. I'm there. I'm a presence to help the women folk, okay? So I dealt with a lot of masculine men, and it wasn't my intention to deal with men that were in the experimentation stage. It wasn't my intention to do that. Or DL men. It wasn't my intention to deal with those either. I'm an openly gay man, but I get a lot of men who just don't want to talk about why they like what they like when they like it. And I was okay with that because I really do not believe in you having to shout from the rooftops what your sexual practice is and who you're laying down with. I just have always been that way. And my energy goes well with all men. My friend it's a neuropsychologist. It's neuroscience. But he talks to me a lot about me outside of my therapy. This is somebody else. This is a friend. But he has the big old shiny degrees and stuff like that in the background. And he always tells me, you attract all men. Gay, straight, whatever. You attract all men because you know how to handle us. You know how to talk to us. You know how to support us. You know how to uplift us. But in the words of Will Smith, only a man knows what a man needs. I don't totally support that statement, but it worked for that moment right there. So anyway, I've dealt with a lot of men that were closeted, and I've paid the price, is what I'm saying. I've paid the price of limited disclosure. I've paid the price of giving my heart to a man that was never going to publicly claim me. And I think about all of those men, because there were quite a few, high school, college, after college. And I was tangled. Be ye not entangled with the yoke of bondage. I was tangled. I was tangled. I was definitely in some entanglements, like Jada says. I'm all in the Will Smith. I'm in the Smith family tonight. I was entangled, and I really didn't want to be, but I kept getting hurt. My heart kept getting broken because I would love these men. I would give these men all of who I am. I would offer full disclosure about my life and all of these things, and would not get that in return. But I was laying on my bed just now like this. And I just sat up and was like, ha! Like just started screaming and laughing because they all fumbled me. This is not just about one man. They all fumbled me. But did they really fumble me, or was that God's plan? Did they really fumble me, or was that God's design? Because I was not, like, listen, I already know romantic love is beautiful, but it's not for me. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because you have to compromise. You have to be willing to share space and your life with other people. And I'm not. I'm married to my career. I'm married to my job. I'm married to my work. I'm married to doing what I love to do. And I don't love anything in the world more than I love being here and being able to be the vessel that speaks to millions of people around the world each year. Been doing it. Last 22 years. Had my own business, own company, doing it for the last 12. This is what I'm married to. You see all these rings? That's right. Because none of the motherfucking fingers are available. Do you hear me? None of the motherfucking fingers are available to a man. Now, mind you, I have so many. But I do not, and get this, I give my heart. You gotta understand this. This ain't no, oh, I'm broken, I'll never give my heart again. No, I'm not broken, baby. Kintsugi, baby. I've been fused back together with choice gold and fine silver. I'm more valuable now that I am broken than I was when I ever was whole. Okay, so look up Kintsugi and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It is a Japanese art of fine art where you turn around and you fuse broken pieces of dishes and things like that with solid gold and silver and all of that stuff, and the shit is expensive. One piece will run your pockets. Well, I'm Kintsugi. My life was broken. I had situations happen. Mental illness hit my life, but I arose, and at 42 years of age, I'm more valuable than I ever was in any form that I ever took before now. But anyway, I'm so glad they all fumbled me. I might have been some homemaker somewhere, all pleasantly content with my happiness and not really giving a shit about the world. And I like the version of who I am now. I give a shit about the world. You know, all these people, why did he go crazy? Why did I rant and go crazy when my friend DeAndre Cottrell died? Why do I do the things I do? Why am I always busy? Why? Because I love making a difference in the world. I love speaking to people. I love being able to be there for people round the clock, baby. You can't clone me. You know it's me. And you know, I love that because each and every person, I have thousands upon thousands of beautiful men, and a lot of women and a lot of men are jealous of that because I have a lot of men that are loyal to me, that actually love me. More men that love me now that I'm not available romantically than I ever did when I was available romantically. And it's such a beautiful respect. That's when I say love. It's a beautiful respect that we have for each other, and they value what I have to say. They value who I am. I'm there for them. I mentor many of them for a lot of money. But anyway, you know, I love what I do. I might have been some kind of homemaker somewhere. Happy, successful, because that was always the plan. Always. But I might not have had such a world scope. But to be rejected so early in life and go out into the world and, you know, find myself and find the best version of myself, my higher self. This is better to me than any relationship could have ever been, other than the relationship that I have with myself. You know, I made a statement last night. I was talking about my family. I'm like, listen, we don't do birthdays. We don't do holidays. We don't do special occasions. We don't do cookouts. We don't do family reunions. My blood siblings that are 2, 4, and 6 years apart, that's it. I haven't talked to them in years. My mentality for success separates me, but so does my mentality, period. I'm a threat. I'm a threat because I don't think normally. I was destined to do what I'm doing. I was destined to succeed. I was destined to prosper. I was destined to be wealthy, to be this, to be in the world, giving my life this way. I was destined. And for that, a lot of people will see that light in you and you being a mirror, and they will take offense. And in my own family, that happened. So I backed up. And you got to understand something. It's just not me refusing to go to cookouts and things like that. They don't even do those things. My family is not a family. There was so much trauma, so much pain, so much happening in the family that we just never, we just all went our ways. I stayed with my grandmother because her and I are both Libras and we get along very well. So I've been there for her. She was able to help fund my business, and I've been taking care of her. And that's the point. And then I told her today, we were driving in the car early this morning, and I was like, Nana, you need to understand something about you. You're so dope. You're so cool. I love talking to you. I love telling you everything about my life. My grandmother knows everything. Sexual escapades, she knows everything. I hide nothing from her. And that is a beautiful relationship. And honestly, in my life, I only have room for one relationship like that. One. I only needed one relationship like that in my life because of what I do. I am a famous public figure and an entertainer, and just not just an entertainer. Legendary, baby. Legendary. Probably won't have no voice screaming like this after this, but legendary entertainer, which means, I said early this morning in my 3 a.m. rant, I am not a natural talent. Do not ever call me don't ever fucking call me a natural talent if you don't want to be cussed out. Because I am not a natural talent. I am 22 years of hard work culminated to this point. Hard work and suffering and learning and going back to the drawing board and revisiting and re-strategizing and being here. I am 22 years of hard work that made me the entertainer, the person, the quote-unquote natural in front of this camera. I am not just somebody that had a dream. I am somebody that worked 22 years for what he has and what the rest of what he wants. Okay? So, but I had to come in here because I needed this video to go out to the world. I'm glad they fumbled me. It's not about whether they deserved me or not. Most people don't deserve me. Let me just be honest. Platonic or romantic, most people do not deserve me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I have done the hard work. I have faced myself. I have looked at myself in 20 years of therapy and seen the ugliness and seen the dysfunction and seen all of those things and faced them head on to be the best version of myself, my higher self. So, that's very valuable right there. I'm valuable to every conversation that I have. I'm an asset to everyone that I meet. I am never a liability. And you will get there too in your life when you master you. So, I'm just saying that I'm glad that they fumbled me because, baby, I belong out here in this world. And I love the internet because it allows me to stay in my home, do what I need to do, and touch the whole world with the click of a button. Y'all can run around, y'all can ruin y'all voices, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can go on tour, y'all can do all of those things. I'm 42 years old. Tour is not for me. I may do a date here, a date there in Europe, but no. I'm not no world tour person. I'm not that. No, my voice ain't made for all that. And I ain't got that type of commitment because literally I have so many jobs. I was talking about in my 3 a.m. Rant that I've had to expand my trademark so many times. It's $2,000 every time. My trademark is well into the $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 mark with where I've had to shell out money to be able to encompass and protect every single facet of myself, everything that I added, every new, addendum and amendment to who I am and what I offer as a product and what I offer as a service. I have just been constantly adding more because I do so much. I've been blessed, and here comes that same black cat to my house. Ciao. I have been blessed to do so much. And I am so thankful for that because I have literally learned how to be self-full. Let me throw that word at you. Self-full. Ian Levanzant brought that term out. Self-full, where you're not selfish, you'll help, but you're self-full, which means you pay attention to your needs. Your needs and your desires and your growth and development are paramount to you in your life. And honestly, in my life, my growth and my development are paramount. It is what I live for. Every day I wake up, it is how can I be a better version of myself than I was 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, yesterday. I am my only competition, but I am also my only teacher and my only student. I learn from everyone that I meet. But seriously, the real nuts and bolts of the matter happens when I get by myself. And I'm not willing to break time from what I'm doing and who I am to big up a partner. No, I'm not, I'm hearing Eartha Kitt's words where she laughed and said, compromise. Love is something that is earned. I'm not compromising myself to be with a man. I want someone who's going to share me with me. That's what Eartha said. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't need that. And at first I thought I did because that was such a heteronormative thing. Whether you were gay or straight, you had the 2.5 kids, you had the lovely house, you had the car, you had the beautiful job. Those were heteronormative ideas that were imposed on the gay community. No. I reject them. I'm the type of person, escorts are my thing because I pay them to come and I pay them to leave. And then I get back to what I love most, which is my job. I am married to my career, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But I am so glad, and I had to do this video to say I'm so glad every single one of them fumbled me. I'm so glad. I actually am. I'm so glad that they did because it allowed me to take the opportunity and the time needed to focus on myself. I find that a lot of people get into relationships before they've ever gotten to know and fully understand who they are and the God magic inside of them. See, I'm in touch with my divine self. My divine self. I know the God magic that I possess. And, most people never get there. My therapist used to always tell me, self-actualization is something that a lot of people do not achieve in their lives. They get the rest of the hierarchy because, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And, you look at it, money, family, all those things. Well, a lot of gays, we are denied money, family, jobs, all those things that we need that are lower in the pyramid. And we have to go to self-actualization, which is at the top, because we have to learn to love ourselves and be ourselves as we actually are, in the presence of a world that wants to exterminate us. So we learn very quickly who we are. And, it's not over for me. I'm in good company. A lot of gay men come to money later on in life. I'm 42 years old. Yeah, I'm 42 years old. I'm right on par to be an old rich queen. I am. I'm right on par to be an old rich queen with a whole bunch of money, slapping people with diamonds on my hand and not giving a fuck. I'm really on par to do that. And that makes me happy. I'm so glad it didn't happen to me when I was younger because I had a lot of people around me that didn't need to be around me. All my life I've heard that I had to be careful who I had around me. And I've always had the wrong people around me. So that's why when I really went focused on this business and started my own company, I went underground. I really I got focused and I let a lot of people go because I needed to hear my voice. I didn't need to hear anybody's input or anybody's, ideas. I needed to flush out my own, and I did that. But I just wanted to say I'm so glad they fumbled me. Oh my God. I'm so glad they did. And you know what's so funny? A lot of them try to talk to me now, and it's and I look at them because I'm like, I just look at them. Because honestly, you're coming back because now you see the worth and the value that you didn't see before. You see the worth and the value that was hidden from you before. See, in my life, God hid my value from everyone, including me, my family, everyone. A couple of people would see it, prophets would see it and say you're destined to prosper and, you're going to do a lot of things. People are going to hate you for what you amass and what you have. And you tell them not to hate you, that they should hate God because he gave it to you because you worked so hard for it. And you suffered so long for it. And you bled so much for it, But I'm glad they fumbled me. Being fumbled was the best thing that ever happened to me because then you guys got this. You got this. And I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. In closing, I am married to my career, not to you, not to any of you. I wish you all well, but I'm going to go live my life. And I don't want anyone on my coattails. Because where were you when I was building it? Where were you when I needed the financial support? When I needed the kind words? When I needed the uplifts? I had to encourage myself like a very prominent psalmist from the Bible, David. David had to encourage himself. I'm not religious, but I do look at the Bible and look at the stories and go, David had to learn how to encourage himself. And on my journey, I had to learn how to encourage myself because no one was doing what I was doing. No one around me, no one in my family has ever done what I am doing. So I was really walking and forging a path that was not laid. I was forging a road myself, and it left me alone a lot, but I know what it's like to be alone but not lonely. And that's because of the 20 years of psychology work I have had done on me in therapy. I know what it's like. I actually look forward to being alone because it allows my higher self to piggyback on what I'm thinking about that day and bring these amazing, amazing moments to you. This is but a moment in my life, but what a powerful moment it is that I get to share with you. And then I go off into some other part of the world or some other part of this region and be my wonderful self, having left you this golden nugget that says, let people fumble you. That's God's protection for you. That's the divine's protection for you. You don't need to be there. There's a higher version of yourself that won't come through if you stay with mediocre people. They were all common. They were all common. And I was not. All of them. High school, college, beyond. All common. None of them with a single ounce of extraordinary magic in them. And then here I come, this beautiful, enchanted being. I'm so thankful. And let me go because I'm losing the light. I came out here, it was a little lighter when I came out. It was a little lighter when I came out, but now I'm losing the light. But I love all of you guys. And I'm saying, thank God they all fumbled me. Thank God they all fumbled me. They couldn't hold me right. They couldn't handle me. They couldn't. I'm so thankful about that because I sit here so valuable today than I ever have been my entire life. Your boy is valuable. Your queen is valuable. Your man is valuable. Your two-spirited being, shaman, oracle, prophecy, or healer, phoenix, fury, clairvoyant. Yeah, I am oracle, seer. Yeah, I'm valuable. And I would have never gotten there had I just been content with the love of a man. The love of one man. Do you know how many men love me today? Thousands. Thousands of men love me today for who I am and what I bring to their lives. On so many levels. On so many levels. Lose a few men to gain so many more. It's a beautiful thing. Now, all these men know how I think, how I process, and just how special I am. And you can best believe they're kicking themselves. But guess what? Them kicking themselves has nothing to do with me. Thank God they fumbled me. In my lifetime, I've known a lot of men. And they were interested in me, genuinely. But they lacked the emotional intelligence and the spiritual maturity to actually be with someone like me. Many times in one-on-one romantic relationships, I suffered because the men that I was with did not deserve me, nor could they afford me spiritually. I'm quite valuable, and I know this, and I've known it since I was 12 years old. And that's intimidating to a lot of people that want to impress you. And then men get upset when they find out that they can't impress you. Men get upset when they find out that you are not moved by their displays of affection or their displays of love and appreciation, especially when they're lacking. I always go above and beyond for everyone that I know, so I never have to turn on some switch and lay on the romance. I'm romantic to everyone. I'm a helper to everyone. I'm a support to everyone. In my eyes, if I'm that all the time, I'm always ready. I never have to get ready. From high school to college to beyond college, I've dealt with a lot of men. But none of them knew how to handle me. And they fumbled me. They all fumbled me. But I am so happy that they did, because I was able to find my real passion, which is being a vessel for my higher self and my higher being and my ancestors and the God of my understanding to speak through. I love the life that I live, and I am not prepared to put it on hold, to compromise it, or to give it up for the love of one man or any man. What I do is what I do because I am married to my career. I am married to my destiny, and I am married to my purpose. I want nothing and no one as much as I want my destiny and my purpose. And I shall have it each and every day that I wake up. When my eyes pop open, I am living in my destiny and my purpose. And I shall never compromise that or dim my light or lower my sails for any man. None, especially one trying to be on my arm. You have to earn that position. But you can't earn that position because the position has been filled by me. I don't need a man. I don't need one. I don't want one. I'm not looking for a partner. I'm not looking for a companion. I'm not. I am into the business of sending these messages out to the world that my ancestors and the divine give me to do, give me to send out. And nothing is more important to me than that, especially not a man. Now, I love men, Black and Latin men especially. They're great for a fun time, but a fun time is all I have in me. I am not for the long haul. I am not for the duration. I am a moment. I am a passing, fleeting moment that becomes a memory. And I am so glad to be that. I am so glad that they all fumbled me. Because if they hadn't, I'd be some housewife somewhere. And God knows, I am not a housewife at all. But when we subscribe to heteronormative society and their ideas of what a relationship should look like, we often all get trapped. I'm glad that I'm not trapped today. I'm glad that I'm not stuck today. I'm glad that I'm free. Free to come and go as I please. Free to live in my destiny. And free to carry out my purpose. This is life to me. This is living to me. Romance is not living to me. Romance is compromise. And I'm so glad that all of them, all those men that had romance in the brain for me, fumbled me so that I could stand here and be myself unapologetically, not needing them. I'm glad they all fumbled me. I have no regrets, but they do. But their regrets are not my problem. Don't worry, I'm a professional.